NVIDIA has been dominating the headlines lately. Its GPUs are the backbone of AI, powering everything from ChatGPT to autonomous driving. The stock has soared to trillion-dollar valuations. People who invested 3 years ago made 10x return on the stock. But here's the big question. Is NVIDIA the only way to invest in AI hardware? Or can companies like AMD and Broadcom carve out their own massive opportunities in this space? Today, we are breaking down how they fit into the AI ecosystem. We will also explore whether they could close the gap with NVIDIA. Let's start with the obvious. NVIDIA is the undisputed king of AI hardware. Analysts estimate that it controls over 90% of the AI GPU market. Its flagship chips, like the Blackwell, are being deployed at unprecedented scale. Almost every major cloud runs on NVIDIA's GPUs. But here's why it still makes sense to look beyond NVIDIA. NVIDIA's growth is heavily tied to a small group of customers. Hyperscalers don't want to rely on just one supplier for something as critical as AI infrastructure. They are actively building a multi-vendor strategy to give themselves more flexibility. AI demand is expanding quickly, which opens the door for other players as well. Some analysts expect that NVIDIA's dominance is going to slowly decline as competitors gain ground. And that is where AMD and Broadcom enter this story. Together, they represent some of the most compelling opportunities in AI hardware outside of NVIDIA. In the large cap space, they are the names to watch. Let's start with Broadcom. When most investors think of AI hardware, the first thing that comes to mind is GPUs. But there's another massive trend reshaping the industry: customized chips. Big tech companies are increasingly designing their own chips. But why do they do that? Because custom chips let them optimize for specific workloads, lower their cost, and also reduce their dependence on external suppliers. Broadcom has been one of the biggest suppliers of these custom chips. For years, they have partnered with Google to design and manufacture TPUs or tensor processing units. But the other hyperscalers also work with Broadcom. This positions the company as the go-to player for hyperscalers that want to diversify away from NVIDIA. Analysts believe that custom chips could be the single biggest opportunity to challenge NVIDIA's dominance. Some of them believe that Broadcom could even capture around 30% of the market through its custom chips. It is known that they are developing new AI chips with 3 large cloud customers. They have also secured a $10 billion order for its custom XPUs from a 4th client as well. This sparks speculation that the mystery customer is OpenAI. According to Bernstein, AI sales in 2026 could exceed $40 billion. Wall Street now sees Broadcom as part of the Magnificent Eight. They argue that demand from cloud and AI clients is shifting in Broadcom's favor, given its significant room to rise. Broadcom has also linked its CEO's pay directly to AI. He only gets the full reward if revenue reaches $120 billion by 2030. As AI revenue is estimated of around $40 billion in 2026, they would need to triple their revenue by 2030. And remember, Broadcom isn't just about custom chips. It is also a leader in networking gear. This connects massive GPU and XPU clusters inside those data centers. That combination of custom chips and networking could make Broadcom one of the biggest winners of the AI boom. Next, Let's talk about AMD. For years, AMD has lived in NVIDIA's shadow when it comes to GPUs. But that is starting to change. AMD's latest GPUs are purpose-built for AI workloads. And they offer a compelling price-to-performance advantage. Hyperscaler adoption is also growing. Microsoft's Azure is deploying AMD's GPUs in its data centers. Amazon and Oracle are also testing them as well. This validates AMD as a serious alternative. Hyperscalers don't want to be tied to NVIDIA forever. They want flexibility. They want multiple suppliers for high-quality, high-performance GPUs. That is exactly where AMD fits in. It is positioned as the Plan B. That could become Plan A for many of the hyperscalers. AMD will never match NVIDIA's market share, but even a few percentage points could unlock billions in additional value. NVIDIA will remain the market leader in the years to come. Its software ecosystem, CUDA, is deeply entrenched. That creates a significant moat for the company. But AMD is making progress. Its open source alternative is gaining traction. Enterprises looking for flexibility and lower costs are starting to adopt it. Even capturing a portion of the market could translate into billions or even tens of billions of dollars. Some analysts believe that they could reach a market share of around 10%. This would represent a huge upside. And AMD already has strong relationships in CPUs, gaming, and semi-custom chips as well. So the opportunity is real. Bottom line is that AMD is a classic underdog play. It won't dethrone NVIDIA, but even a small additional slice of the AI boom would give it huge potential for significant gains. The company's earnings growth is expected to accelerate in 2026. AMD should have more upside if they can execute and increase their bottom line next year. They operated in 3 segments and see huge growth opportunities in data centers, gaming, and embedded infrastructure. In contrast to NVIDIA, where most of the revenue, around 88%, comes from GPUs, AMD's revenue is more broad, more diversified. 45% of its revenue comes from clients and gaming, 40% from data centers, and around 15% from the embedded segment. The embedded segment covers products for automotive, industrial automation, networking, healthcare, and storage systems. Its data center segment is growing, but it is not growing as fast as NVIDIA. So you can see that there is potential for AMD if they can grab a bit of the data center game. Even a modest market share gain could be transformative for the company. So, will AMD or Broadcom catch up to NVIDIA? Not likely. NVIDIA's lead is just too big for now. But here's the key. They don't need to beat NVIDIA to win big. Broadcom could capture around 30% of the market, while AMD may grab about 10% over the long term. AMD could increase its market share as hyperscalers diversify, and Broadcom could ride the wave of custom chips. Even without dethroning NVIDIA, both companies have significant upside as the AI boom continues. Thanks for watching, and please give it a like, subscribe, and watch another video. See you in the next one. Thank you. Bye.